Hey, Eileen, how are you?
Okay, how are you doing, Cicely?
I'm great. Listen, I loved our last conversation. I'm just fascinated by all the things you're seeing with people who are looking for jobs and candidates who are looking to switch careers. So, thank you for joining for another conversation. This is great.
This is wonderful, and I love hearing what you have to say about career growth and how to navigate that concrete jungle. Because, look, I think both of us discussed on the last time that we wish we had someone like us when we were starting out in our careers, or even as we were navigating through our careers. For someone who has been there, who can mentor us and really show us the ropes.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. So listen, give me a little bit of a deep dive. What are you up to these days? What are you doing with your clients and candidates? And love for, in case somebody's just joining us for the first time, love for them to hear the value that you're bringing to the folks you're working with.
Okay, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Eileen Ryan. I am an executive recruiter and managing partner at Marketing and Sales Resources. We're an executive search firm focused on industrial products B2B channels. What I noticed is that people don't know how to market themselves properly and they're struggling in their job search. So what I did was I created a program called Pounding Pavement 101, teaching people exactly what recruiters are looking for in candidates. So this way they can exponentially increase their chances of getting noticed and hired rapidly.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that.
Cicely, so once I get them hired,
Right.
Cicely, I send my clients over to you
And
just to learn about what you're doing.
listen, I'm grateful for that because, the process doesn't stop once you get hired. The process
No.
continues. Your career journey is that. It's a journey. I tell everybody it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so I'm grateful that I am now on a mission to help people navigate that career journey. I have a program called Chair Leadership. But Eileen, I want to share this quote with you. I know you've heard it before, but it's such a powerful sort of motivator for me. But the first African American Congresswoman, Shirley Chisholm, had a quote: "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair." And
Love
so
it.
for me, people say, well, what lessons can you teach me? I teach you how to pull up your chair. Pull up your chair to the table of success. Do you want to be a leader? How to be more impactful? Are you someone who just started in your journey? Let's talk about how you can really make your way as a new employee. Are you somebody who just says, look, I'm good where I am, but I want to be more impactful? Let's talk about that as well. So I love, to your point, meeting people where they are to help them reach their goals. I think you and I are on similar missions.
Definitely. I absolutely love that. Bring your chair to the table. And I did not know that that's why you named your program that. How impactful and what a difference having that information can make in your career growth and just make you more fulfilled in your overall career.
Absolutely. Listen, that quote, I read it a few months ago and I thought, how powerful, but how empowering at the same time. So, and it's actually come in handy. Remote environment, hybrid work. How are people pulling up their chairs? So, I really want to dig into that today. Let's talk about the remote versus hybrid environment. I am seeing a lot of different things in this sort of remote versus hybrid versus, in the office. But let's talk about what you're seeing. How are candidates navigating this remote versus hybrid versus return to work workplace that we're seeing right now?
Yeah, this is a whole new world that we're looking at, okay, as to how to navigate this space. What I'm seeing is a lot of candidates, a lot of job seekers are looking for that hybrid model. Okay, or they want to stay completely remote. Look, this is opening the candidate pool for companies because they can have people working anywhere now versus, let's say, living in an expensive area like New York City or California. So it's giving them options, which means the candidate pool is larger, which means you need to do everything you can to be even more competitive in the job marketplace. But some companies are still requiring that they want their employees in-house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some are saying 100% in-house. Some are saying, you know what, it's okay for that 2 to 3 days at home. And you know what, that's offering candidates work-life balance.
Yes.
That's something we've been striving for. So it's not that you're not going to put in your 8, 9 hour days. And let's face it, who works a 9 to 5 day anymore?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. You're
Especially
exactly right.
we're in a global economy. you're taking a call at 10 o'clock, you're speaking to another country, or you're waking up at 6 a.m., okay, and taking another call. So we're not working those typical 9 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So what difference does it make if you make that call from an office or if you're making it from home? It's the same difference.
No, that's a great point. And what I love about that is I feel like companies are confused. I think there's a lot of confusion. And look, who knows what's going on in the world right now? Are we having mask mandates again? Are we returning to, all remote environment? Who knows? But the companies I'm talking to, and quite frankly, employees as well, there's just a lot of confusion. There are companies who are, and I'm going to sort of be a little blunt here. There are companies who are like the butts in seats. They want to see you every day. Now, they haven't seen you every day for the past 18 months. And you got your job done, but now they want to return to the status quo. They want to go back to, no, you need to be here. Then there are the folks who are like, well, let's do hybrid, half remote, half in person. But as I was told recently by someone, their CFO of their company said, I don't need to be in the office to be productive. I've proved that. And her response was, that's right. Why would I drive 45 minutes to just sit in an office and answer emails when I can do that at home? And yes, I'll come in when there are meetings and big things going on, but why would we not grant that flexibility? But what I said to her was, has that been clearly communicated? And the answer was no. While those conversations are happening, it's at a different level from leadership than it is from rank and file employees. So I'm not sure there's clarity on how to navigate a remote hybrid environment just yet. So, maybe I'm wrong about that. Chime in and feel free to disagree with me.
No, I'm in full agreement. Look, there are some companies now that are saying certain employees can be working from home full time. Obviously, they see that they're being productive. They're fine with that, and they're only bringing in the essential personnel. But again, I always go back to, look, salespeople who are on the road sometimes 4 weeks out of every month, they're getting the job done. What's been interesting, what I'm finding with the salespeople is because they haven't been able to be on the road, they're still doing business. And the companies are realizing that, and they're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars by people not traveling for their jobs.
Wow.
And time. So that means they're not spending their time getting to and from an airport. They're spending more time on the phone. So I think the companies are actually seeing a benefit to people working remotely and from home.
There's definitely an opportunity to be innovative and creative if companies want to do that and quite frankly, if employees want to do that as well. Courageously take on those conversations and courageously approach your manager to say, I want to have this conversation. I want to talk about what my job looks like going forward. And so, yeah, I think you're spot on. Listen, any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, I want to bring up one point. People are people. So I know that when I'm interviewing people, and I have candidates who are apologizing that there's children screaming in the background. You know what? It's life. We all have home lives. And I think this whole pandemic has brought us together that way to understand that it's not only business, it's that work-life balance. And Cicely, I think you see that as well in terms of your career growth, that you need that balance.
Without question, I think you've said it well. The enabling of work-life balance now has been, I think, a huge game changer that we've come out of this pandemic. But I say the same thing as you, and I'm on a call and people are apologizing. I'm like, look, kids, cats, dogs, they're all welcome. Like that makes the call even better because there is so much anxiety from people who are like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, we're good. A kid, dog, or a cat, bunny, whatever, it makes the call go better. But I do think there is something to your point about the work-life balance. How do we keep that going is going to be the ultimate challenge and question. So listen, thanks for your final thoughts. You and I are going to continue to do this because we're having a blast. And quite frankly, I'm learning from you a lot. So I'm grateful for your insights that you're sharing. I know the person who's watching
I'm learning from you on the other side of what goes on after I get them hired and how to grow that career. What are those next steps?
Right. I hope the person watching this who may find themselves, with these questions and navigating that journey, hopefully they'll reach out or hopefully they'll continue watching, these videos as you and I tape more. So next time, We're going to continue to talk about this post-pandemic shift. And it's being called the Great Shift. And I'm fascinated by all that I'm seeing, all the writings, all the musings, all the opinions about it. So we'll continue this conversation very soon, but thank you for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cicely.
Okay, talk to you soon.